Good morning, scholars. Happy Wednesday. So we're looking at our guided practice, and I'm going to look at number 1. The directions tell me to find the slope of the line that contains each pair of points. So I'm going to go ahead and remind us what that slope formula is. y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Awesome. Go ahead and take 5 seconds to write that down. Good, now we're going to move on to number 1. So number 1, I'm going to label it my x1, my y1, my x2, and my y2. I'm going to go ahead and plug in what I have labeled. You may think that it's silly to label it, but it will help you so much more when you go ahead and input it into this equation. So I want you all to take 5 seconds. Please label it. Awesome. Now I'm going to plug it in, and I'm going to show you all my y2 is 9 minus my y1, which is 6, over my x2 is 6, and my x1 is 3. 9 minus 6 is 3. 6 minus 3 is 3. 3 over 3, pardon me, equals 1. So I know that my slope will equal 1. My m equals 1. Good. With your elbow partner, go ahead and take 3 minutes. Teachers, please set a timer for 3 minutes to go ahead and do 2 and 3. Awesome. So your teacher should have given you 2 minutes to go ahead and do 2 and 3 in the same fashion. Now I'm going to move on, and I want to show you the 2 other representations. So a couple things I just want to point out. They give you 2 points on this graph. So I want you to go ahead again, label x1, y1, x2, y2. Go ahead and go through the same exact process. The only thing that's different is now it's on a graph, but they've given you the 2 ordered pairs just as if they would have here. Similarly, I want to show you one more hint for number 5. I don't want you using your pencils right now or trying to calculate the slope of number 4. I'll give you time to do that. But we're going to look at number 5. Remember that these are just ordered pairs. So Miss Hood always uses the first 2 because I think it's the easiest. My x1 and my x2, my y1 and my y2. So again, take your time to label that and go ahead now. Take 2 minutes. You might need more than that. Teachers, if they need more than that, please give it to them. To go ahead and do 4 and 5. Again, it's just asking you to find the slope. Beautiful. And then as we get down here, you can still just go ahead and use the points that they've given you and use your y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. But the important thing here is that it says then tell what the slope represents. So they don't just want to know what the slope is, tell me why it is that way. So I'm going to go ahead and look at these 2 points. This is my x1, this is my y1, this is my x2, this is my y2. I'm going to go through number 6 and then have you do number 7 on your own. I know you know how to find the slope. We've talked about this up here, but the important thing is that we're telling what it represents. So my y2 is 80, my y1 is 160, my x2 is 4, my x1, pardon me, x2 is 4, x1 is 12. So 8 minus 160 is going to be a negative number. And then we also know 4 minus 12 is going to be a negative number. So the bottom, sorry, I gave you time to hopefully figure it out on your own. It's going to be negative 8. And the top, I have negative 60 plus 8 or 8 minus 160. So I'm going to count down from my negative 160. So then it's just negative 159, negative 158, negative 157, 56, 55, 54, 4, 53, 52. Negative 152. You can go ahead and simplify that on your own. But what does this mean? So this is my y values, and these are my x values. The y is on the top, and the x is on the bottom from our slope equation. And so a negative divided by a negative is actually a positive. So that 152 divided by 8. Go ahead and take 10 seconds and figure that one out. It should go ahead and equal 19. So positive 19 equals m, or our slope is going to be 19. So I look here, and on my y-intercept, I have money earned. Not my y-intercept, pardon me, my y-axis. This is my y. Then here is my x. I know that down here is my independent variable, and up here is my dependent variable. So the amount of money earned depends on the amount of time worked. So this slope is telling me that for every $19, because it's 19 over 1, right? For every $19 that I'm getting from my y-axis, my y right here, I have to work 1 hour. So this is telling me that this person makes $19 per hour. Good. $19 per hour worked. Go ahead and take 5 minutes and do this one on your own with with an elbow partner. Awesome, teachers. Once they've done that, we can go ahead and move on. I'm going to give you one more example. So this is not in my slope-intercept form. The way that I can find my slope is if I do put it in my slope-intercept form. My slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. So I know that I want my y on this side. So I'm going to go ahead and perform inverse operations on my 8x. So then I bring my 2y down. 2y equals negative 8x plus 96. Is my 2y isolated? No. I have to go ahead and perform inverse operations again. So I divide by 2. What I do to one side, I have to do to the other side. I end up with y equals negative 8 divided by 2 is negative 4x. 96 divided by 2, 48. Now I have my slope because I have it in my y equals mx plus b form, and where my m is always going to be my slope. Okay, teachers, go ahead and let them do 9 and 10 on their own.